24th. I have been unable to do a video for a while, so I'm going to try and see if we can get through this. Getting ready for our winter garden, or fall, excuse me. I've got some cabbages in here. I haven't had a single cabbage I've harvested this year. In my compost, the seeds didn't die, but there's some volunteer pumpkins, as this bed was kind of done. The strawberries weren't doing much anyway, that I've let grow. Obviously, we've got some kale and stuff, but I'm kind of curious to see what kind of little pumpkins or winter squash these are. As it's early in the morning, the nicotinea smells really good. I haven't got many leeks this year. This is the first year I have not really been successful in leeks, and most of my kale had bolted. I've been getting a lot of squashes, and I've harvested tons of carrots. Some onions I still need to harvest. I'm not sure I'm going to grow this variety again. It's prone to, like this one's growing good, this is zucchini, but it's prone to getting really narrow tips and, well, actually the opposite, where the flower end, it's really small, and then it'll have a huge butt, and it's prone to rot, and they don't break off very easy. They've been producing pretty well though, which is good because we've been eating a lot of it. I want to go to the dollar store and get those little dish pots to just fill the bottom of these with water. I have not had much luck with my peppers this year. We've had some times where I couldn't water every day, and you can see with my ground cherries, it just died. So that might have been part of why they've had a stunted growth. But I'm starting to get some that are at least getting color, but they're definitely not, and you know, there's some rot or something on that, but they're definitely not the growth that I normally would expect. Again, just kind of transitioning. I've got some leeks here that we're growing. Really hoping to get some jalapenos here soon. Last year I had a bumper crop of all of my peppers, and I'm growing the same kinds as far as these are King of the North, because they're sooner. You know, they don't produce as they produce a lot sooner. I've had a lot of basil this year, and they haven't bolted. I mean, they're starting to, but what I've done, sorry, my aim's horrible. What I've done is I just keep cutting them back. Parsley. I have some onions in there I need to harvest. Ooh, looks like one I've waited a little too long. It's split. I need to do that. My zinnias. This is kind of, you know, none of my cilantro did. It all bolted. I have some more. Out of all of my zucchini, this has been the happiest one, and it started kind of late. And I've got a mouse that lives in here. Again, looking inside. Let's see, there's a bee in there. Hello, little bee. Thank you for the zucchini you're going to give me. And I've got some right there. I've got another one over there. This is a hard area to get through, which is why the mouse loves to eat and live in here. There's another one in here. I've had a real hard time with leaf miners this year, so my beets have been a little sad. My experiment with saving seeds has been hard. This collard green overwintered and took forever to bolt, which is great. You know, I got a lot of harvest on it. So it's been taking me a while. Originally I covered it with the pantyhose, or a little boot, and I'm just waiting for these to develop before I harvest them. And I don't know if I should do this or not. I'm kind of cutting back some of the other flowers that it tries to put out, so it really could focus on making these as strong as possible. My sweet potatoes are doing great. They're vining everywhere. And I've got little flowers down here for them. They're kind of pretty. My parsley is bolting, but that's okay. My daughter and my son love to eat the golden cherries. This one's doing really good. It's been, you can tell by all the wrappers on the side, it's been thoroughly picked over. Again, some more peppers. These are the ones that I did the bark on the side. And they're okay. They're just really stunted. Blueberries were okay. We got a lot out of that before the birds came and ate them. I've got some volunteer kale over in my compost. Been harvesting some of the cucumbers. I think I've decided I like the silver slicer over the punicura. The punicuras seem to be kind of more bitter. Maybe because it's been kind of hot lately. I don't know. They're not as delicious. Here's my little peach tree. It's getting some of these like rust spots or something. I'm not sure exactly what they are. But it's a new tree. I got this for Mother's Day. And trying to prune it a little bit to encourage more lateral branches rather than the ones that are very close. We don't want a small angle. We want wider angles. A volunteer sunflower. I'm not sure if it'll have time to bloom, but you know, there it is. The raspberries I chopped back. We bought some, oh my goodness, what are they called? Praying mantis egg this year from Fred Meyer. I normally buy them from a pretty reputable place, and I didn't get any that I've seen. So here's some of these are the Rosa de Burns. They did really good for me last year, but I put them along this bed, and again, I've had something this year that I haven't had a good crop. This is a volunteer tomato that just kind of started, and it started in its proper place. It's smaller because it started way after everything else. I've got some pumpkins. And I don't know if you can see all the beneficials. I get all sorts of things on. I grow alyssum on the front, petunias, marigolds usually. We just didn't have the money for the marigolds. And by the time we were buying more, the zinnias were on sale. That's why I've got those. But I've got, I don't know if you can see my little bennies, my little beneficials. But anyway, some of these, the tags got tangled so I couldn't see what they were. But this one is peace vine. And I've been doing double stem. So I let them fork. And they kind of crossed this year. But I'd say that's a big cherry tomato size. This one down here was my Crimson Sprinter, and those are some pretty bigger. They're bigger than I had anticipated them being. And they look to me similar to the Rosa de Burn. Isaiah, not in the garden, please. This is a butternut squash, which is yet to produce anything. I don't even hardly see any. I mean, there's a little, let's see, I can't see. There's a little squash on the end of that, but I haven't seen a whole lot. It just hasn't been particularly happy. I've got some more cabbages I may just harvest, even though they're not as big as I normally like them. San Marzano paste. Again, it doesn't taste very good until you cook it, but I haven't had enough to actually can. So, that really early dividend broccoli, I have had very poor luck with. Even its germination has been, I'd say about 10% germinate. Whereas my solstice broccoli, I get about 95% germination. Some more pumpkin. And this one hasn't looked very good for a while. It's my Crimson Sprinter, but I saw a mouse hole, so I think it just does not. See, I'm having some real mice problems. We've got bait out, but there's just too much food. They don't care about the bait. Another one. This was my guess of your guess for what tomato it is, but this one's been producing pretty good. Oh, I dropped another apple. I know when they say the apples start dropping, that's when they're ready to harvest. And so here's some apples. And when I open them, they look beautiful. This one is my Honeycrisp apple. They've been tasting pretty good. My my Rubinette, I left too many on, so they got pretty small. But anyway, and you see all the bugs and white flies and stuff I have on here. Let's see, oopsies. What else can I show you guys? My cabbage bed. I mean, look at these. These have been in here for months and months. They haven't bolted, although a few look like they may be trying. But they're just teeny. I mean, some of these, where's my tags? Some of these have been in here. I didn't write the time on those, but man, they've been in here way too long. So I'm going to just pull them out and start over. And some of them are kind of trying to bolt over here too. I think I'm going to pull out my My green beans. Well, they're not green beans, they're bush beans. I really like bush beans. I think they're so much easier. And this guy looks like it's trying to bolt. Maybe. I'm debating whether I'll let it have a little extra time or not. And again, trying to save seeds on this romaine. And the flowers get almost dandelionish. They get white fluffy. So I haven't had much luck in trying, because I have other things, I didn't want it to cross-pollinate with it. But I might just, I don't know, because I really loved it. It took forever to bolt. The romaine was a lot crunchier, crispier. It overwintered. The growth habit was just much better than the other kind I had purchased. So anyway, that's kind of what's going on in our garden. Thanks for watching.